I'll sometimes scam men out of money.
Scam?
$100, and I'll FaceTime you. And so then they send me $100, and I just block them.
Well, she might be the most obnoxious and entitled girl I've ever seen. Hey guys, welcome back to the show, your home for independent and nonpartisan commentary and analysis on politics, media, and internet insanity. We're going to do something fun and react to something from that latter category there. I'm a huge fan, as y'all know, of the Caleb Hammer Show, Financial Audit, his podcast where he tries to help people with their finances, but is often derailed by their personal life drama and stupidity, frankly, and sometimes their entitlement and narcissism. And that's where the young lady we're going to be reacting to today comes in, because she is essentially a failed OnlyFans model, and yet she thinks she is too good to flip burgers at McDonald's. We're going to go through it all and just try to laugh a little bit today. As you guys noticed, you probably noticed, I didn't have any content for you on Friday as I was attending a funeral, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging all weekend, and then so I'll record a couple fun videos and we'll be back to talking about more serious stuff on Monday. Without further ado, let's watch our first clip here from our wonderful, delightful, insightful friend who was just on with Caleb Hammer. Let's watch.
How the are you surviving right now?
Because there's nice gentlemen.
Not because. I said how.
Nice gentlemen on the internet.
Boy.
Oh, are you being a sugar baby? Okay, is this not so degrading and pathetic?
Yeah,
Have
kind of.
sex. Sex is fun. We all do it. But, I mean, if we start doing it for money,
Then what?
it's just like, at that point, I mean, it's just more degrading.
To who?
I guess to me, it just seems, I mean, like being a whore. Again,
Yeah.
I think have fun, but...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Give me examples of what's going on now.
So just like I'll sometimes scam men out of money.
Scam?
Sometimes
I thought we were
I'll
sugar baby.
send
Oh,
them-
no. Tell me the
There's
scam.
just like, there's so
no,
many different
Tell
ones.
me. Well, give me an
Okay,
example
so
of that.
it's like,
That's crazy.
it's like,
Now
okay,
you're a piece of shit.
$100, and I'll FaceTime you. And so then they send me $100, and I just block them.
So a lot to unpack there. You're not only a hoe, but you're a dishonest hoe. You gotta scam these men too. But the flip side of that is, I don't feel too bad for these men, because they shouldn't be up to this activity anyway. They're setting themselves up by this weird and simp behavior of begging some girl to FaceTime you if you send her money. What? I mean, so she shouldn't be scamming them. That's not great. But also, why are they doing that in the first place? And so frankly, they kind of deserve it a little bit. But all around, just a very sketchy situation. Imagine that's your daughter and she grows up and that's how she pays her bills, and then she doesn't even make that much money doing it. She's on Caleb Hammer's show, for goodness sake. So, her finances can't be in good shape. So it's just like a double whammy of all around, everyone involved is just sad. But it's crazy to not only are you hoeing, but you're also scamming. But what I'll say is, at times she tried to frame her activities as sugar baby arrangements, right? Like you have a sugar daddy and a sugar baby. But it's pretty clear at some level what she's doing is just prostitution, right? And listen, in a world where everyone is consenting adults, I'm not saying I approve of it, but I don't think people should be sent to jail for that either. However, she was trying to claim that yes, she was meeting with guys specifically to sleep with them in exchange for, I think it was $200 or $300. Elsewhere in the episode, she mentioned it, but it wasn't prostitution. It was just mutual spoiling. And it's like, come on now. Okay, we're going to really have to come up with a euphemism for everything. The world's oldest profession has been around here for a long time. This is nothing new under the sun. And yet you're going to try to claim it's something else. Now, maybe she's just doing that for legal reasons, right? Because some of these other Caleb Hammer guests have just straight up confessed to crimes and may be getting investigated by the state of Texas or various other legal authorities as a result. But yeah, I don't understand why people volunteer this information, right? You go on to a public show that you know millions of people are going to watch, and you admit to several things. Not only that you are a sugar baby, aka a hoe, but then also that you're not very good at it, you're not making very much money, you're broke still, and then that you're also a scammer. You're not even an honest hoe. I don't know, guys. That's wild to me that anybody would voluntarily give up all this information to the world, to the internet. For me, I'm always like, you couldn't waterboard this information out of me if I was ever up to such activity. I wouldn't want to admit it to anyone, let alone purposefully go on a podcast where I intentionally broadcast it. And then, you know what? At the end of the day, people make life choices, and I might judge some of them, but it's your life. What made me go crazy about this girl was the audacity of her to then say this. Let's listen. If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health issues, you should hear this. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. Now, Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. Click the link in my bio to take a short quiz, as you may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. Now back to the show.
Longest you've stayed somewhere?
A year and a half.
I'm losing
I just
hope
feel
a little
like
too early on.
I'm a little overqualified for some jobs, you know?
How? How are you overqualified?
You know, I was a leasing agent.
Okay.
And so I don't want to go work at McDonald's now.
What?
Oh my God.
That's a McDonald's of real estate.
Yeah, but I don't want to go be in there flipping the burgers and everything. I'm too
What? People make careers there.
I'm too cute to be doing stuff like that.
Are you?
I want to wear
Maybe if you wore
nice
less
dresses.
makeup. I don't know what you look like under there, but you're caked to death, dude. I don't know what's going on.
Cake to death. You can wipe. There ain't nothing.
There's no makeup on there?
There's
all
nothing.
that
Well,
fake.
there is makeup on there, obviously, but there's not as much as you're saying it's caked.
Come on. Oh, what are we doing here? That's okay, sure. But why you look down on fast food workers?
I'm not looking down on them by any means.
Well, you said you're overqualified because you're a leasing agent. That's looking down on them.
No. I'm saying I'm overqualified to flip burgers.
Okay, well, now she's just gaslighting us because she just said that she's too cute to be working at McDonald's, which doubt, but also that's irrelevant. And then two, she's overqualified because she used to be a leasing agent or what have you. And it's like, actually, I don't even think you're qualified for McDonald's at this point. We'll discuss that as well. But that is you looking down on them then. And imagine being not only a hoe, but a dishonest, scamming hoe, and yet you have the audacity to look down at people who work at McDonald's in a, you know, obviously it's not the most glamorous or doesn't require the most talent of any job in the world, but it's a real hard-working job where you're putting in your hours in, you're providing an important function in society, and you're being paid, and you're showing up to work on time every day, and you know what? There's no shame in it whatsoever. It's a great place to start, and some people are even able to, you know, climb the ladders, and they end up as a manager of a store and doing pretty well for themselves, and even people who just go there and clock in and out and get their, you know, $15 an hour or what have you. Still, you of all folks, but really nobody, but you especially, should not be looking down on that, Miss Girl. And the funniest part about this to me is one, the audacity that people have, right, to say this kind of thing and think somehow, oh, that we're not going to roast them or eat them up from it. But then two, literally, I would not hire her to work at McDonald's. She might struggle to get hired at McDonald's, because if somebody is not only, you know, has done OnlyFans and this other stuff, and you Google them and it all comes up, that alone, you might not want to hire somebody, but maybe you would. But then you see videos of them bragging about scamming people. Yeah, no, I'm not hiring you at any business or in any customer service style field. So literally, if I was the manager of a McDonald's and her application came across my desk, I would hit the rejected button instantly. Well, not instantly, after doing a little bit of research about her. So it's like, it's exponentially more hilarious that of all people, she's got the audacity to look down at people that work at McDonald's when she doesn't even, in my view, she says she's overqualified. I literally don't even think you're qualified enough to be hired at this point. It just goes to show you how out of touch and how delusional and how entitled so many people in this world actually are. And the comment sections were not kind to our friend here. So we'll go through a few of those as well. Somebody wrote, I always hate how confident these people are. This really is true. That's what I'm always struck by is two things, the audacity and then the confidence to the point of like delusion, right? Because sometimes you can meet a person who's really arrogant, but they can kind of back it up. Like, okay, they think they're all that, but if we're being honest, they really are very good looking or very talented at what they do. You know, like LeBron James, if he has an ego, okay. But then you meet these people that are confident, like they're some sort of elite person or just the cream of the crop. And then you're like, are you? Is the cream of the crop in the room with us? Because no one else is detecting it. So this is my message for y'all. Don't doubt yourself. Don't always back yourself, right? Have that self-esteem, have that confidence in yourself, because you're not as delusional as these people, no matter how, maybe you aren't the smartest or sharpest tool in the shed. You're still not as dumb as her. And yet she thinks she's amazing and has the world as her oyster. So you should try to aspire to that same level of confidence, but just without the extremely overdosed of Delulu. Anyway, next comment. Eyes so big, yet so blind to all of her shit decisions. She really does have big eyes and that certain look, but whatever. Somebody else says, we really need to bring back shame. Yeah, to an extent. I think we may have overcorrected a little bit, right? Like, I definitely think people for a long time shamed too much and were way too judgy and people were bullied. But now it's like we got people out here running around in fursuits. Like, or having the audacity to go on camera and fix their mouth and say they're overqualified and too cute to work at McDonald's. Meanwhile, they're a failed hoe who scams people. So it's like I agree, we may need to bring back just a little bit of shame, just a little bit of bullying. Like, bullying is bad and harmful, but maybe like 10% of the bullying could come back. Just enough so that to keep people in check, to humble them a little bit when they need to be humbled. Okay, next comment here. I'm overqualified for most jobs, proceeds to do something that takes zero education to do. Yeah, I mean, it might take a little bit of organization skills or business savvy if you're running but clearly hers didn't even have that because it was a failed enterprise, her career as a hoe. So yeah, I agree. She is not, in fact, qualified at all, let alone overqualified for anything. The next comment here. As someone with a master's degree, I can confirm being overqualified does not, in fact, prevent you from flipping burgers. It just means you can analyze the socioeconomic implications while doing it. Yeah, I think people do have some mistaken conceptions about what it even means to be qualified for something. And then sometimes they think that just because I don't even know if this girl went to college or what have you, but just more broadly, sometimes people think, well, because I got an expensive degree or accreditation, or I worked really hard to get this thing, it therefore entitles me to something. But it actually doesn't. If it's not actually relevant or doesn't actually make you a better candidate for the job, just because it was expensive or you got it or whatever, doesn't actually mean you're entitled to anything or qualified to anything at all. And that's like the recurring theme I have with some of these Caleb Hammer guests. It's just like, where do they get the audacity? Where do they get the sense of entitlement to think they're owed things or that their shit doesn't stink, when in fact they're like some of the stinkiest subset of the entire population in actual reality? Anyway, guys, this episode cracked me up. I will link to the full thing in the description if you want to check it out. But let me know what you think of our friend here. Would you even hire her to work at McDonald's? Something tells me a lot of y'all probably would not. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. Do hit the like button and consider becoming a channel member to support my important, hard-hitting journalism like this video. Hit the join button or click the link in the description. And with that, guys, we'll be back with more real soon.